is Toni.
Hi, this is Carl.
And welcome to Action for Aging, where we're tackling life's most underestimated season with intentional action and a big dose of self-love. I did this for all my beauty girls. Hello! I don't generally do beauty videos, but we're out and about getting some exercise today, which is something we try to do regularly,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
So we're out getting our walk in, and we thought we would just stop and check in with you guys, and I'd be dazzled just for you girls. I hope you like it. Yesterday, we want to tell you about what went on yesterday with our family. So we have this favorite restaurant.
South of here.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours south actually, guys, but we feel it's worth driving for. It's run by a Mennonite family, and how is their home cooking?
It's Amish, so good.
So good, you guys. It's so good. And so we don't go often because of the distance, but yesterday was a day where everybody's schedule kind of gelled and we could do it. So we packed everybody into the car and on we went. I want to tell you about an action that we saw an opportunity to take.
Well, we're driving along and we see an elderly couple working really...
Elderly meaning we're over 50, guys. I get it. We're all there. If you're 50, 60, 70 beyond, we're talking about all of us here. More senior than we were. Let's put it that way. They were probably 85? 85-ish,
yes.
Okay.
And they're working very hard in their yard, cutting down a tree.
Two of them, husband and wife.
That's
He's
it.
cutting, no help. He's cutting, she's loading this back of this pickup truck with just tons of, and they weren't little branches, were they?
No, they weren't.
He was cutting them down as small as he could for her, but he's doing the work of the cutting and she's doing the work of the loading.
Yep, and it's got to be 85 degrees out there.
It was.
I mean,
It was
it's
hot.
Really hot. And so we drive by and we got some time.
We figured we had a little bit of extra time to spare.
So Toni says, hey, why don't we stop and see if they need any help?
Yeah, I just couldn't just keep on going. I just felt like there's 6 of us. I said that to you, didn't I? I said there's 6 of us. It would take us 5 minutes to stop and offer to help and get everything loaded for them.
So we whip around, turn back, and we pull up into their driveway.
And it was kind of funny. And we get out of the car and he's got the chainsaw going. I'm approaching 2 people whose only defense is a chainsaw in their hand, right? And strangers show up. And I'm walking across their yard and his wife sees that we're coming and she looks at us kind of standoffish at first, didn't she? Like, what do you want? Why are you, I don't know you. What are you here for? So I kind of said, hi. And she's yelling at him. Of course, he can't hear well, right? He's got the chainsaw going. He is 85. But he turns the chainsaw off. Turns out later he told me that he thought I was his cousin, that he hadn't seen in a long time. And I don't know, maybe that was a big disappointment. It's just Toni here and Carl, right? Action for Aging showing up at your house. But I said, hi, you know, we were driving by and we noticed that you guys were working really hard in your yard. And my family and I would love to help you get the chopped down branches and twigs loaded if you would want that help. And she just kind of looked at me really strange, and I said, you know, I didn't want them to feel like we were treating them as charity. It truly was only coming from a good place in our hearts, that if you see an action that you can take in this season and you can make a difference in the life of somebody else, you take that action, guys. It's not enough to just reflect on some of the sentiments I share with you here on my channel. You really need to consider, how do I take that information and be inspired in my life to do the same? Because I just feel like this is the most underestimated season, guys. We have the opportunity to continue to live productive lives, lives that contribute to others, that make a difference, because we're still here. There's purpose, right? Let's find it.
And then it's only 20 minutes out of your life that we're expecting to help these folks, because it's not going to take us very long. So we're thinking 20 minutes and we'll be done. And
we told them that we wanted our children, that's what we wanted to teach our children. We wanted to model to them that if you see an opportunity to help somebody else in need, you don't pass it up. You actually actively act on it. You do something. And she smiled. Her name was Carolyn, by the way. Carolyn smiled when I shared that with her. So tell them what they said when we offered the help.
They said, no, we're almost done.
And they were.
and he said they had some logs that we were going to help them move. And he's like, nope, we got this. And so he goes, but we appreciate the offer. And we're like, no problem. Then he says, "Hey, you have a couple of minutes," and I'm like,
two minutes is a couple, right?
I go, sure, you know, I mean, we don't know if they're lonely or what, you know, so we're like, yeah, sure.
I thought he wanted us, he said he had more property out back, and I thought, oh no, I think we're going to be helping clear all the trees today, but that wasn't what he wanted.
Nope, and then he said, I've got a woodworking shop. I want to show you some things.
So precious, guys.
I go, all right, sure, no problem. Our kids are probably thinking, are you kidding me? But
they're learning.
We're trying to teach them
to care about other people, to really care.
And we do things by showing them. If we show them that we're willing to do the things that we want them to do,
then they know we lived by what we preach to them, right?
So he's going to show us his woodworking
shop.
So before we get there, he goes, oh, but I got to show you this over here. So he takes us to this garage.
It was so cool, though.
And he's got a '66 Cadillac Fleetwood in there.
Oh my gosh!
It's a limo. It was a limo.
It was a limo.
But it was a funeral car, but
white.
And it was 1966, 40,000 miles on it. He takes it to all the car shows, and it was laid out. It was pretty awesome.
So awesome. It was huge.
But Carolyn says, but mine's over in the other garage, and it's black, and I like that one better, and it's a 70. We didn't get to see that one, but I'm sure if it was like this one, it was in good shape.
She was so sweet. And so we're walking along after we saw the cars. They had a large property, acreage, and we're walking along, and we pass a kennel area, and they had two dogs in there, Bonnie and Clyde, right?
Yes.
So Carolyn shows us Bonnie and Clyde, and they also had what we would consider barn cats, but she was so proud of the one little kitten that they had. It was maybe 5 or 6 months old. It had fleas, and they were letting us know that they were doing their best to get it treated for fleas. Carolyn wanted it in the house. Gordon said no, that wasn't going to happen. So we got a tour of the cars, and then we got a tour of the animals, and then we went to the wood shop.
A Hoosier cabinet that he's making, but on everything else on the walls, he's got collectibles, signs.
The word I can't say.
Memorabilia.
Yes, he's got that.
He says, I don't have any much more room for anything to go on my wall, and he sure didn't. I mean,
it was all cool stuff, though. It was like hubcaps from cars you never heard of, some posters, things that he created himself out of wood, hardwood floors in his wood shop. They were beautiful, and a wood-burning stove in the corner so that he can work year-round in the shop, right?
Yes.
He also had a barn. Tell him about the barn right next to it.
Oh, yeah, the barn. He tore down a barn.
From a different location.
Yeah, it was in a different location. He tore it down and rebuilt it on this one and painted it so it has the mail pouch symbol and logo on it. He goes, this took me a year to do.
It was beautiful.
Because I was working, and I'm like, bro, that would have took me 5 years.
It was so amazing.
And it wasn't as big as the original because he had to cut parts off of it, and so it wasn't as big. But it was an awesome display of his abilities. I mean, he was really talented.
Yeah, he sure was. He said he had 60 years of experience with woodworking. 60 years. So then, guys, this is how precious it can be when you take the opportunity to invest in the life of someone else, even if it is only for a few minutes. They took us into their home. They took our family into their home. And we're kind of giggling about that because he mentioned that they have a son and a daughter. And I can imagine later when they told them the story of these strangers that showed up at their house and they invited the whole family of 6 into their home. Dad, what were you thinking? Obviously, we know we're a safe family, but they didn't know that. But it was so precious that they connected with us and enjoyed our company so much that we were invited into their home. And I even said to Carolyn, I said, you know what? We stopped by because we wanted to be a blessing to you, but that's not how it turned out. You guys are a blessing on us and our family. We were so appreciative. We were so humbled and touched by them letting us into their home. One thing I want to share with you is Gordon, when a high school was being torn down.
It was his high school.
It was his high school,
and hers.
Guys, and
They
hers.
met in high school.
Is this so sweet or what? And they showed us a picture of when they were younger. It was just absolutely precious. But the railings that go from the front door up their staircase, which is a really wide staircase, are the railings from their high school. How sweet is that?
Took them out of there, and they were tearing it down, and he refinished them.
Oh my gosh.
And he put him up, and so it was an awesome display.
And then when you get to the archway at the top of the stairs, on each side of the archway are these two really dark pieces of trim. They're very ornate. They go floor to ceiling, and they have all these linear grooves in them. Those grooves are because they were on a house that sat out in the weather for many years unoccupied, and they were tearing the house down, and Gordon saved them. How amazing is that? So his house, you walk through it, and it's like they have this very personal connection to everything that they have in the house. Why don't you share just a few favorites that you might have noted in the house?
We both like they had a from the ice cream cups, the
Dixie cups with the wooden spoon.
Ice cream. Yeah, if you peeled off the top, back in the day, he said it was like in the 40s and 30s and 40s.
Cool.
But you peeled off the tops, and if you licked the ice cream off, it revealed an actor or an actress.
Big ones like Clark Gable.
Right, and there was John Wayne. I saw John Wayne. And,
how neat is that?
He had them in a frame that he built, of course, because he could do all this, and he had them displayed, and
it said Dixie's at the top. He carved that into the wood.
Yep, and it was a display of all these tops. And
I would have taken that home with me. If he said, "Do you want this?" Yes, sir, and thank you very much. It was that cool. Another really cool thing was that he would go around and show us different projects that he had built in the home, which pretty much was anything made of wood in his house. He made them, including his kitchen cabinets. But there were so many different types of wood that we didn't even know that you could build with,
exactly. Like sarsaparilla.
Sassafras. 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 It was sassafras wood because he said you could smell. Maybe he said sarsaparilla. Maybe you guys know better than us. Is Carl right or am I right? Leave it in the comments below.
What?
I think it's sassafras.
Either way, I didn't know you could build out of either one of them, but he built a bookcase.
I know. He built his, oh my gosh, his fireplace, his kitchen cabinets, all kinds of display cabinets, because his house is like, I don't want to use the word cluttered because that's not the right word. There's so much in their home, but it's all displayed beautifully. Their house was neat as a pin. It was so nice and clean, and I felt like I could just spend hours and hours in there, and I think they would have had us for hours if they could have.
Yeah. But it was neat because it's kind of like a living museum. I mean,
yes.
I don't want to say their house is a museum, but he's got it set up that everything's on display. And he wants you to see it. I mean, he's
so proud of what he's done, guys.
And, I mean, we don't know him from Adam, and he's like, hey, come on to this room and this room. We saw every room in the house, and he had a grandfather clock, and he had, like she said, cabinets he made, and bookshelves, and picture frames, and it was the neatest. They're the neatest couple
they are
that I have met in a long time.
So awesome and so gracious. They offered pop to our kids, which we declined because, like we said, we were heading on our way out to eat. We probably spent 45 minutes at their home. We thought we were going to do a 5-minute project. It was revealed to us as we interacted with this couple that we were meant to stay longer. They touched our lives, guys. So the message today to you is, if you have an opportunity to reach out and to do something kind for someone else, whether it's a stranger, whether it's somebody you know that has a need, we would encourage you to go ahead and just pursue that. Sometimes the timing feels like, well, I was actually going to do this, or can you imagine if we had passed by this couple and not stopped, the blessing that came to our family that we would have missed out on? I am so grateful that we took the time. We're going to send Gordon and Carolyn a card because we saw their last name and we know the town they live in. It's a very, very small town. I bet if I just put their first names on it, it would get to them. But we are going to thank them for showing us that sometimes in life, when you think you're blessing others, you may have a blessing in disguise. And that is the takeaway from this, isn't it?
That sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses,
That's
like they say.
Yes, it's never too late, guys, to be a blessing on others and to pour something good in the world while we're still here. Thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below and also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my new content. I release new videos every Sunday night, sometime after 8 p.m., and I'm doing my best to bring additional videos to you throughout the week, so please be on the lookout for those as well. Also, would you go ahead and do me a huge favor and give me the thumbs up? Thank you. We appreciate that as well. And as always, guys, please remember that you are special and you are so valuable in this season of life right now. So act on it. Goodbye, friends.
Bye.